Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from Bloomberg published on February 28th. Oh, it just goes to show how desperate the legacy media, the left, and the Democrats are with this one. Because once we get into this, you're going to see why I'm saying that. They're literally trying to go after Trump for statements he's made, as in his free speech, and using that to go after him. I mean, and using that to try to, get him out of office type thing. It's hilarious. House Democrats to probe Trump's attacks on FBI, courts, and media. So literally calling out the FBI, the courts, like the Ninth Circuit, and the legacy media, the fake news media, leads to this probe. It's hilarious. So, judiciary panel to examine alleged abuses of executive power. Effort will include public hearings, but witness list unclear. This is funny. They're so desperate that they're moving to this type of action to try to get him. They're going after him for calling out the fake news and the Ninth Circus for not following the Constitution and the law, the actual laws written here in the United States. The Justice Department for the crap they've been involved in. And yeah. House Democrats are opening an investigation into what they say are abuses of power by President Donald Trump through his attacks on the courts, the Justice Department, the FBI, and the media, according to a House official familiar with the plans. I'm sorry, but this is just funny. Abuses of power. So, the president can't have free speech? Really? Since when? You don't think that Hillary, when she's calling people deplorables and other vile things, that alienated her from them, do you think that would have stopped if she came into power? Of course not. This is no different. They just don't like it because Orange Man bad. It's just funny. I'm sorry. I get a kick out of this. Oh, God. Because, the Justice Department, they're referring to Comey and Strzok and Mueller and the list just goes on and on. Basically calling all the deep state shills there. Topics for the inquiry will include Trump's public humiliation of former Attorney General Jeff Sessions for calling him weak because he was being weak. Oh, God. His attacks on actions by the liberal Ninth Circuit Court and his abuse of reporters as dishonest and enemies of the people, said the person who asked for anonymity to discuss sensitive matters. Okay, I love how they take this out of complete context here. Now, him calling Jeff Sessions weak and calling him out for not doing his job, that's humiliation now for some reason. Because, Trump should just keep his mouth shut and allow Jeff Sessions to sit there with his thumb up his ass, doing nothing. The liberal Ninth Circuit Court doesn't follow the Constitution or the laws, that the federal government have written as written. Yeah. So calling that out, yeah, that's an attack on it. Okay. The abuse of reporters. He said fake news is dishonest. He said the fake news are dishonest and that they are the enemy of the people. He did not say reporters specifically. He's called certain reporters and certain outlets like CNN and Costa fake news, which they are. So I don't know where they're going to find any ability to actually go after him on this. Maybe in their La La Land world, but beyond that, in the real world, it's not going to fly. The Judiciary Committee, led by Democrat Gerald Nadler of New York, will announce the probe in days, the official said. There are plans to hold public hearings with witnesses, but it is not immediately clear who will be summoned. A spokesman for Nadler said he had no immediate comment. Now, this is funny. They don't have anything. So, of course, they don't have anyone summoned at this point, because they're desperate. They're like, who the hell can we bring in? Who the hell can we bring in? We need to push this and sell this really hard. And then watch the people that they're going to bring in. I bet you some of them are going to be like, members of the legacy media going, he called me fake news. Cost will be up there shedding a tear going, my life was wrong with him calling me fake news. They'll have, Costa next to him doing the same thing. And that'll be like their idea of witnesses. It's going to be a dog and pony show, nothing more. So anyway, bully pulpit. Presidents have wide leeway to use their bully pulpit to attack foes and get their way. But the effort comes amid a broader push by Democrats now controlling the House to investigate actions of the president and his administration. See, this is what's funny. So they're admitting that presidents have the leeway and the ability to use the bully pulpit to go and push it back against their foes, and they're saying get their way. And then they're saying, but the effort comes amid a broader push. So what they're trying to say is Trump is doing this because the Democrats are now controlling the House, are pushing for this. That's what that basically comes down to. Which is kind of funny because he's been doing it since well before this point. And I haven't noticed an increase in it. It seems like he's just doing his thing. The official said there are questions about whether Trump, through some of his actions, is going too far and undermining the rule of law, a reference to established and defined limits on arbitrary exercise of power. Free speech is immutable. He has a right to say what the hell he wants. That does not undermine the rule of law. So calling out the Trump deranged, fake news, people that aren't doing their jobs is undermining the rule of law. To me, that sounds like he's actually trying to have the rule of law actually work and be enforced. It's a little funny to me when you're like saying that it's undermining it. That's just hilarious. Nadler is opening the investigation in part because his committee is responsible for defending the rule of law, said the official. The rule of law has not been attacked. He has not circumvented the rule of law. He has not committed any crime in exercising his right to free speech. This is why I'm covering this article, because it's complete and total bullshit. Issues will include determining in what circumstances, if any, Congress should take steps to curb some of Trump's actions and how that might be accomplished. So what they're looking to do is try to find a way to basically silence the president because they don't like the fact that he's speaking. They don't like the fact of what he's saying because it hurts them, because the truth hurts. And they're looking for a way to put a stop to it. It's ridiculous. The planned public hearings and findings will also give Democrats their own platform to allege, explore, and spotlight abuses of power. Okay. Yeah, it'll give them a reason to... What you mean is it'll give them the ability to lie, make up shit, and try to nail the president on it. Because that's what it's going to come down to. Trump's attacks on the news media. Calling out fake news is not an attack on the news media. He hasn't attacked the news media. The news media as a whole. Has he said anything about alternative media? No. Has he said anything about Fox News? No. Has he said anything about Ben Shapiro? Which is kind of mollusky, according to how Sticks would put it, mollusk media, but Shapiro. Has he said anything about Steven Crowder? No. Has he said anything about... Oh, God. We'll say the Young Turks. No. Has he said anything about oh God, I can't think of his name. Well, David Pakman will give. No. Has he said anything about I can't think of his name. Anyway. But no, he's only called out like Acosta, CNN, MSNBC, ABC at times, NBC at times. He has not... See, this is what they're trying to portray it like the only media is them. That's not the case. And they don't like that. So they got to paint this broad brush that they're the only media and they're the one, everyone there is being attacked. So anyway, Trump's attacks on the news media, singling them out for abuse and ridicule, potentially threatens freedom of the press and could also serve to intimidate other journalists, the official said. No! No, no, no! They're not being singled out for abuse and ridicule. Well, the ridicule, yes, but the abuse, no. Okay, being called out for your stuff and ridiculed for it. Called out for your shit. I'm going to clean up my language a little here, I think, but not that much. But being called out for your shit and ridiculed for it does not threaten the freedom of the press. What it should do is have you idiots, you spurging, social justice, cultural, Marxist idiots. You never Trump deranged morons. It should have you actually thinking that you should cut your shit and do your damn job the way that it's intended and report on the facts. Because you haven't done that in a while. And that's why you're being ridiculed. That's why you're being made fun of. Which I'm sure that's what you're going to be considering abuse with this. The president regularly denounces fake news as the enemy of the people in tweets and at campaign rallies. Yes, because fake news is truly the enemy of the people. Trump was right with this tweet right here that you're showing. You people want to control the narrative. You people want to control the minds of us. And you don't like that you're losing that ability. Because years ago, when it was very cost prohibitive for the average person, the mom and pop, the average Joe or Jill, to go out and start reporting on the news, you had a monopoly on controlling the narrative, on controlling what facts and what perceived facts are out there. With the birth of the internet, you tried to stop people from going out there looking for it because, you'd see all over the legacy media. You can't trust what you read on the internet. You can't trust what you hear on the internet. You can't trust what people are talking about on the internet. You can't trust what someone's saying to you, because back then, more audio than video, when we're talking the early days, 56K. You can't, those people talking over there, you can't believe what they're saying. You can't believe, that website. You can't believe this. And eventually, that stopped working because the internet gained traction. People saw you were full of shit. Now, the genie's out of the bottle, and you wish it wasn't. And you're screwed as a result. So, having him call you out just brings more attention to that fact that you talk out your ass, that you lie, that you try to control people's minds. Calling you fake news and having people actually look at you as such undermines your supposed authority as the fourth estate, which is complete horseshit. Because there's no such thing. There are 3 branches of government. You're not part of it, even though you want to be. That's not how it works. Trump has also been attacking the judiciary since before he was elected, including using racially tinged language during the 2016 presidential campaign and attacking a federal judge who ruled against him. Now, I love this. They make this accusation and show absolutely no backing to it. No quote, no nothing. Which should set off the bullshit meter. I'm telling you, it kind of sets it off with me. Because you would think, if they actually had something damning on that note, you'd think they would plaster it right there. At least I would. Since, they want you to just believe what they're saying. This is why because this is that whole fake news thing. Their credibility goes to shit. And with their credibility damaged, people aren't, they want people to take stuff like this at face value. But less of us do. And they don't like it. Since taking office, Trump has blasted court rulings, particularly the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has been at the center of several White House defeats tied to lawsuits seeking to block Trump executive orders. Yes! Which the court does not have that power on these legal executive orders. So he called them out on it. This is what's funny. They want him, when the Ninth Circuit, the Ninth Circus with all the clowns there, when they rule against the Constitution and federal law, They want him to just shut up and take it. And because he doesn't, that's, oh no, he's blasting the courts. He's attacking them. Give me a break. Quit spurging out. That's not what it is, but hey, you want to act like a retarded degenerate, that's your prerogative on this one. The committee will study whether such actions either reflect or blur the Constitution's separation of powers, said the official. Oh my God. So the president having an opinion and expressing that opinion using his inalienable right to speech is somehow to the Democrats an abuse of, or like going against, the blurring the lines of, however you want to put it, the Constitution's separation of powers, said this supposed official. I mean, that's funny that they would actually try to pull this one. I mean, how the hell is, because they're going to say that he was saying all the media was fake news, I'm sure, to try to justify that one, which it isn't going to fly. But calling out the Ninth Circus with their rulings, all he needs to do is bring in a bunch of legal experts. Say, hey, no, their ruling was complete horseshit. Comey and stuff like that, Comey has kind of dug his own grave because he said one thing and other things have come out, stuff like that. So they're kind of screwed there because that's what they're talking about with the Justice Department. And, Jeff Sessions, which he sat, with his thumb, sat on his hands, thumb up his ass, didn't do much of anything. But yeah, I mean, this just goes to show the desperation. They're looking for any way to go and get Orange Man out of office because Orange Man bad. You would think something this pathetic would be beyond their purview at this point, because this is pathetic. This is desperation. This is like reeking of the smell of desperation. But no, they don't think people are going to see it for what it is on that note. Because they think people are stupid. They think we're stupid. We're not as smart as them. We're not as intellectually equal to them. They think we're intellectually inept. But that's not the case. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.